Right, in this episode 13 we are going to see how to convert this design into working HTML and CSS. So to follow along, I will leave the images link in the description so that you can follow along with me. Now just to give you an overview, we need two sections. Let's say this is the first section, the background image, and then we have the second section. As we know, the first section has some height, let's say 800 pixel, and then we have h3 and then h2. Then coming to the next section, has container, and inside the container we have rows, and inside row we have two columns, first column and second column. The first column just has images, and the second column has, you can see, some row with inner columns, and then we have paragraph, and then we have button. Fine, now let's get started. As we know, first let's check, do we have the image? We don't have the image with the background blackish, so let's open the image and edit the image on the desktop. So I think this is it. Press U. U is for rectangle. The shortcut for rectangle is U. Click U. Just drag it over and make the fill as black, and just decrease the opacity, and that's it. Just export this, and you will find this in the download folder. Just get that and place it inside the working folder. Let's save this, which is replace this, so X7. Fine, now let's start the work. As I said, we have the external site sheet which is linked over here, and we have font awesome. For this section we don't need font awesome, and then I have imported the Google font called Roboto. Now what we need is, let's work on the section which will give the ID section 1, and inside the section 1 we have h4, let's say our stats, and then we have h3. Cool. Now if you notice, I have used line break, and then we will have the section 2, and inside the section 2 we need a container, and inside container we need a row, and inside row we need column, first column and second column. The first column will have image. Let's open the image, x8. Inside img folder we have x8, and over here again we need a row, and inside the row we need column. Inside the column we have, let's say, h3 1500, then we have h3, h6 projects. The same way, just make this thrice. Cool. Now once the row ends, we'll have paragraph with the, let's say, text of 25 words, and then we have button with text read more. Now if I refresh and show you, this is how it looks. Not very attractive, but we will make this into the working HTML. Fine. Now the CSS on the CSS we just used on all element. I want the font as Roboto, and I need to remove the default padding and margin given by the Chrome for all element. Fine. Now we have section 1. It's an ID. Then inside section 1 we have two headings, which is H4 and then we have H3. And on section 2, which is again an ID, we have container, which can be optional, but we'll make this. And then we have a row. Inside row we have column, and on first column we have image, and on second column again we have row, then we have column. Inside the inner column we have H3 and H6. And then we have paragraph, and then we have button. So you might be wondering, this is the hierarchy which you need to follow in order to avoid the CSS override. As you know, we have row and also the row inside the row. So with this type of hierarchy, there is no point of having, there is no doubt of having CSS override issue. Fine. Now for the background, this background, let me make the background image URL, which we have made X. Let me open it. On the images we need X7, img folder we need X7, and the minimum height for this need to be, let's say, 800 pixel. Now if I refresh and let me make the background size as cover, so that it covers the entire screen. Cool. And whatever is there inside the section 1, I want it to be at the center, so text align center, and let the color be white. And the H4, I think H4 is at the top. We need a margin top of, let's say, 30 pixel. That doesn't seem to be working. Let's make padding top. We want to make this as 50, and the opacity should be 0.5. And padding bottom, let me make this 30 pixel. Too much, 15 pixel. Alright, now let's increase the font size, 30 pixel. Almost there. We'll remove the opacity. We'll make the font weight 100. That's alright, it's working as we thought. Now we want this section. Let's work on the second section. So this section we'll just leave for now. We'll work on the container, and this container has row, so why don't we make this display flex. Now if you see, and we have image inside the column. I think we need to fix the image size, so let me make the image size, let's say width 100%, height 100%. Now you can see it is just taking the half width. Now we'll design the container. We need a margin left and right 50 pixel, top and bottom 0. So actually top and bottom comes first, and left and right 50 pixel. Let me make this 150. Okay, you are getting space, that's cool. Now I want this section to have background, not the section but the container to have background color white, and let me make the margin top to the negative, let's say 150 pixel. Let's make this 350 pixel, 550. That seems alright. Let me decrease the height for the section 1. Cool. Now it seems working. So we just need to work on the second column. So the second column, get the second column. There is no, we cannot make the individual selection, so we need to make nth child of 2. So now let me make the background color red just to identify. Now we can select them individually because we have using the nth child. Now we'll make this display flex. Flex direction column. And align item center, justify content center. Cool. Now what we need to do is we have to work on this section. So inside row we'll make the width as 100%, and inside the column we'll make the column width as 33%. So combining everything it will make 100. 33 is 99. %. I don't think this is taking 33%. Let me inspect and check. Don't worry about the responsiveness, we'll work on it. Choose the first column, 33% is working. Choose the second column, 33% is working. Choose the third column. So the 33% is working, but the text alignment is the problem. So let's make the text alignment center. Just copy paste it over here as well. Now there is not an issue. we just need to increase the font size. So let's increase the font size for the H3. Let's make the font size 35 pixel. H3 35 pixel, and let's get the second one, font size 20 pixel, font weight as 100, or let me make this 300. 600 seems to be working. Copy it and paste it for the H6. Now the padding for the paragraph, top and bottom 25 pixel, left and right 0, so left and right 20 pixel. Justify text align, justify. So there is not text align, we don't need this. Let's make the color as gray. Get the gray and make the opacity. This seems alright. A slight dark is required. Cool. Let me increase the font size 15 pixel. Let me get this and paste it for the paragraph, and I need the color yellow for the button. Choose the button, give the background color, remove the border, and let's add the border radius. %. That doesn't seem to be working. Actually we have given border radius none, 0. Let me check what is causing this. Okay, we have to make this one more time. Background, border, outline, padding. Let's select all and paste it for the button. Refresh it. We need to make the paragraph top, bottom, left, right. We will try to make this even smaller, so just by giving the container padding, this looks okay. Let me decrease the height for the container. Cool. So that seems to be working. We forgot to add the border radius, so let's just add the border radius for the button. Now let's work on the responsiveness. This is for the desktop, and I think we need to add padding properly for the paragraph. We can do one thing, which is we'll get the row and we'll give the same padding to it. Let me make this as margin. Let's check through inspect. Call row. Yes, it has a margin, but it is taking outside. So what we can do is box sizing. That doesn't seem to be working. So let me make the width as 80%. I don't think that is the right way. Okay, padding does works. You can see both of them has the same padding. Now we have to make it less. Let me make this 25 for this as well. Now if I refresh, inspect, let me take this out. Now let's check the padding for both. Padding for row is okay, but for paragraph okay, the reason is text center. I think we have to remove the text center from the column, and that would work. From the column, let me remove the text center. But why this is not getting into the position, let me check. Text align left. So as you can see, this is getting overridden. So we have to do one more thing. Let me give the different class for this. Text left. So use the text left, text align left, or we can make one more thing, which is align item flex start. So the reason for overriding is, you can see align item center is there, so we are making this align item flex start. So let me check it again. Let me make this important. So I think it is working. Cool. So the point is clear, I believe. Top and bottom, let me decrease the top and bottom, and let's add width to the button. %, 30%. Font size, let's say 20 pixel. 15 pixel. I think we have to make this text left. Not for button, but we want this button to be at the left. So we have used the text align for the container. So if I show you the container display flex, let me see from the inspect. Again, let me give the same class to the button. Hard refresh, inspect. You can see once I remove it, it is working. So the problem is the nth child. So instead of giving the nth child, we'll give the identity. You can give any name. Let me give any name. So this is a class. So for this guy, the second column, it will have this is the column. It will have unique name, so we don't need this anymore. Let's save the CSS as well, refresh it. Now let's see. We'll use align self, flex start. Great, that is working. Padding left, we have used 25 pixel, I guess. Actually it's margin, not padding. Cool. So align self comes handy for this situation. Now let's work on the responsiveness. Let's get into the mobile screen. As we do every time, we will first work on the mobile screen and then slowly we will forward it to the tablet and then the desktop. So bootstrap breakpoint, which we have covered it in the previous video, I'll just give you an overview. So for tablet and desktop, the screen sizes. So first we are going to work on the mobile section. So for mobile section, for section 1 seems to be working alright, but section 2 is making issue. So for section 2, we don't need the container. We will make this, let's say, 50 pixel. Cool, almost done. And then we have the columns. or let's say the row, we will make this as flex direction column. Now let's check again. Perfect. Let's give the margin top of, let's say, 250. And we have to work on this section again. So we have edited this 3 part for mobile screen, and we have let's inspect it. This row is working fine, but the column needs to be text align center, or we will use flex direction for this. With 100% is okay. Flex align item center, or what we can do is we'll remove this flex direction for this particular row. So give the class, so let's say for mobile, call this class, and particularly for this we will make the flex direction row, and we will make this important. And if I refresh it and great, it is working. Now we just have to decrease the font size from 41 to 21, from 41 to 21, from 20 to 10. Close this. We have to comment this as well for now. Cool. And we need to make this full width. Let's get this section, and we have used this as well. And let's comment for the mobile. If I refresh, and let's give the paragraph text align center, padding top and bottom, left and right, left and right 0. Copy the whole section for mobile and place it over here, and we will comment this for now because this is the desktop version. So whatever I have commented, I will just paste it for the desktop. So for mobile one, let's remove this padding as well. So that seems alright, but we'll make this slightly closer, 21 pixel. And now I want it to this to be text align center, Cool. Get that guy. Here it is. Cut this and paste it for here. And for mobile screen it should be text align center, but for desktop it should be text align left. And along with that we have changed this as well. We have made this from 41 and this was 20, and what all things, and we have to make this for desktop. It is going to be column, and what else we have changed, this flex direction and these three section as well for a desktop. This was 350, this was 150, and this was a row. So for mobile screen I think it is working great. So let me reduce this size as well. So for mobile it is it. Let's get this for desktop, and now I want this to be slightly above, so cool. So get the section 2, minus 339. Cool. This is what we thought. For mobile screen it is perfect. Let's get into the desktop version. Refresh this. We have to work on the desktop version again. Let's select the section 2. It is 350. Let me make this 300. And what else is left? Get this and make it as flex direction. Column. Actually it should be row. So let's get this for mobile. Here it is, and we have to make this as a row. If I refresh it, great. Now we have to make this text align left. So get this guy and use text align left. Refresh it. So for desktop also we have done this. Now let's work on the tablet. For mobile screen it is okay. For desktop it is also okay. Now in between we have tablet. In between the section is from 768 to 992. So let's see, let's take 800 for example. No, this doesn't look great. Why don't we do the same thing for the tablet? If I refresh it, just checking. But instead instead of copying the mobile version of CSS, we'll copy the desktop version of CSS and paste it and check. 800. Cool. Since we just need to decrease these size 22, and let's add the margin top. Cool. Let's get this guy, and inside this paste it. If I refresh, I think we have to make this 20 and 10. Hard refresh. Cool. Now let's work on the button. We want this to be 40. Get into the CSS and find the button. Over here we'll make this 40, and if I refresh, and cool. Now if you see, if I get into the mobile version, this is how it looks. Let me make this as 75. This is how it looks. If I get into the desktop version, sorry, tablet version, the font size is perfect. Now if I get into the desktop version, cool. So that's all for this video. We have checked with the desktop, the laptop, the tablet, and finally the mobile version.